We are starting the new year of our Race Weekend feature with highlights and interviews of some of the major players in the final round of the 2018 Philippine Autocross Championship Series. We are here in Mako Commercial Complex for the final round of the 2018 Philippine Autocross Championship Series. That's one more race before we end season 2018. This is win or go home. The 2018 Philippine Autocross Championship Series was an exciting affair with the overall championship decided in the 8th and final round. In the first 7 rounds of the series, the duel between 2009 PAX champion Carlos Anton and the reigning Slalom King Milo Rivera was the focus of much of the action. With the 2017 PAX champion Danbia Pinchay, Carlos Anton's son Inigo, Milo's brother Estefano, always in the fight for the top 5 overall positions. Heading into the final round of the season, Milo Rivera led Carlos Anton by 6 points in the battle for the overall championship, and even with the points double in the last round, Milo remained the favorite to win, according to pundits, needing only to place in the top 4 fastest overall to win his second championship for the year. By this time, Milo had already clinched the Slalom King crown for 2018. I'm here with the recently crowned National Slalom Series racer, Mr. Milo Rivera. Hi Milo, thank you for joining us once again.
Thank you very much for having me once again.
So what are your thoughts about going through the whole season for the first time in, I believe, the whole season of Autocross? What actually made you finish the whole season?
Well, it's the first time we're actually running this seriously. We thought at the beginning of the year it was something different to challenge ourselves more, expose the starlet aside from slalom. It was a good idea, but at the same time, it made our schedule much more hectic. It's also made the car much more vulnerable to damages and wear. So I guess it's part of the challenge. So far, with this last race of the year remaining, we're doing pretty well.
So you and Carlos are neck and neck in the standings. So what do you need to finish, and what does he have to do to actually win this last leg?
Well, we're currently leading the championship by 6 points. The only permutation somehow for Carlos to steal the championship away from me given the last race today is for him to win and for me to finish 5th. It's pretty far-fetched, but you know, anything can happen in racing. So we can never be too complacent with what's to come, especially with the kind of year we've had. A lot of ups and downs. It's a very amusing roller coaster ride to say the least. So anything can happen even up to the very last day. So we're here to try and gun for the win. But we know the breathing room we have, but we can never keep it as a backup plan for today.
So you were recently crowned the 2018 National Slalom Series champion. What drives you to stay on top? Even if this is not actually your league, this is probably like I mentioned, the first time you actually completed the season.
I guess it's just the passion for racing. It's being able to love what I do. The smell of gasoline, the burning rubber, all the works, all the cliches, so to speak, when you enter a race. I guess that's what hits me. Eventually, the competitiveness, the challenge that comes along with it. So many competitors out there to race against you and to be with you on and off the track. And it just adds more camaraderie and fun to the whole racing scene. So for me, just by being on the driver's seat just makes me want to race and race more and eventually win and win more if God blesses us with so.
Everybody was looking to finish the year on a high note competing at Mako Commercial Complex in Bulacan, including Danbia Pinchay.
I had a difficult time the whole series with Milo there being the fastest most of the races, and then Carlos and Inigo. So basically I was in the second, third, fourth position. So hopefully it ends really well.
Danby explains why the 2018 was not quite a success that he and his team hoped for at the start of the year.
Actually, this season, I wasn't really that prepared. Like, we fixed the cars like 2 days before the race, and then here we are. I usually have a hard time in usually the location. When it's in a parking lot or small spaces, because my car was built for high speed.
Danby plans to continue competing in autocross, although he also has an eye out for some dirt track action.
Next year, I still plan to race autocross and then maybe join rally. Yeah.
Also looking to end the 2018 PAX season on a high note was Carlos Anton. Returning to PAX almost a decade after leaving the series as 2009 champion, Carlos rues having started the season with a yet unreliable car. But coming back to form in the middle of the season saw him being given the opportunity to fight for the overall championship.
Well, I feel like we started on the back foot because the CRX wasn't ready in the first few races of the year. And then when we finally got it running, we were able to win in 3 rounds. And then it broke again in Santa Rosa the last round, and we had to switch back to the EF. So, I lost some points there. But overall, after coming back after almost 10 years from autocross, being the 2009 champion, I'm just happy that I'm still competitive. And then, of course, I'm like super, super elated that, Inigo is just a phenom, winning 8 out of 8 novice, and then he's running 3rd overall in the championship. He's something else talaga. And I think that's my main purpose naman this year is really Inigo. But for me to be fighting for the championship, hey, thank you, Lord, right? I'm still good.
On the last round of the year, car problems continued to plague Carlos and his team. Still, he and his son Inigo were battling for the fastest overall.
When the car breaks, you have to jump into the spare car, which is Inigo's, and try the best we can. And we only lost by 0.10 in technically the spare car. So I was kind of sad that we lost, but still happy that we performed so well, no? Even in the not our usual car. So hopefully today, my car broke already this morning. The axle broke, then we changed it. Now I was able to do some good runs, and Inigo, we ran side by side, and we're holding on to 1st and 2nd right now. So we can't be happier. We just hope that we're able to hold on to it all day.
The young phenom Carlos Anton was gushing about as much to be proud of while competing in and dominating the novice overall class in the Autocross Series. Having clinched the novice overall title even before the last round, Inigo Anton looked relaxed and satisfied with how things were turning out in the 8th round.
Well, just going into this race, I just, of course, just want to have fun and always be safe, because safety is first. But my dad said, just try and improve again. Like any practice or any race is good. Like you always improve. So my dad said I'll just join to just have some fun also, and just try my best.
Autocross was another discipline to master for the 14-year-old who was a 2017 overall slalom novice champion.
Well, it's of course a different discipline from slalom last year, so it's like everything's new to me, but I just had to adapt and overcome it. My dad said just try and do your best over the season. Doesn't matter if you win or lose, just always keep focused and do my best. And it's already the end of the season, and I'm happy about my accomplishments and achievements. And also being novice champion also for autocross, so it's really been good, and hopefully next year it's also like that.
Inigo Anton's successes in motorsports are all the more impressive because he is still balancing racing with his studies.
Well, they're both important for me, but of course my mom always says, and my dad also, that education is first and racing is just a bonus for us. So I always take my studies first. Like every time I have free time, if I'm not racing, I just always try and study. And during race, I also focus, but as soon as I'm done or as soon as I'm not doing anything, I just go back to my studies. So.
While early in the day, the Antons were running 1 and 2 atop the leaderboard. Milo Rivera ended his motorsport year with one final fastest overall record to clinch the 2018 PAX Overall Championship. Carlos ended up 2nd on the day and in the championship. Inigo was 3rd fastest overall in the final round of the PAX season, with Danby Tinchay a respectable 4th and Estefano Rivera 5th. Both Antons are looking forward to competing in autocross in 2019.
Well, our plans are unsure for next year, but for sure we would be joining autocross next year. So I'm looking forward to new events and new places that we're gonna be held. Like I think I heard Tagaytay next year also for this autocross. So looking forward to that, and also looking forward for competition. Looks like everybody's starting to join now autocross, and everybody's getting quicker and faster. So I'm looking forward to that also.
We're looking to run it again. We're kind of happy with the series, and then Inigo's getting quicker and quicker. So we want to do it some more. So we'll hope to see Danny all year again next year, and you, and motoring today.
And that ends our coverage of the 2018 Philippine Autocross Championship Series for the year 2018, as we look forward to a more exciting season next year. This is Ray Louis Gamboa. See you next time. We are certainly looking forward to covering the Antons, the Riveras, and other racers in autocross and other motorsports disciplines, and bringing race weekend viewers all the highlights and sidelights of motorsports events in 2019.